and welcome to Nightsky Sanctum. This is episode 2 of Nightsky Sanctum Season 2, and we are ready to have a very good time, a very fancy evening. Let's start by introducing our esteemed coven mates, and we will start with Morningstar, and you yourself as well as your character.
There isn't much to introduce about myself. I'm a wonderful Morningstar, and that's really all you need to know. But my character, Elise, more important that you understand her for this evening. She is our Median psychic. She uses her, well, I was going to say wiles and charm, but she lacks those entirely. She just uses her threatening aura and cunning mind to force her way through life.
Well, she is very good at what she does. Let's go to Azalwin.
Well, I'm Azilwan. I am playing Yarrow tonight, and Yarrow is an Arcanist satyr, so of course we have our horns and our hooves and all that fun jazz. And just recently took a fun new general power that makes us move really fast, so basically I'm turning myself into a battering ram. So we'll see what kind of fun we'll get into at a ball with that.
Looking forward to it. Megan?
I'm playing Seth, a neurotic shapeshifter, who's also a Nereid, so a fish person, a slippery, slimy, frantic, shapeshifting person.
Nice.
I basically have no idea what's going on, but are just along for the ride.
All right, and Anya.
Yeah, I'm Anya, and I'm playing Hollis this evening. Hollis is your short, green, goth girlfriend. She is newly obsessed with bringing herself as physically close to death as often as possible.
Yeah, and after what happened last week, it is absolutely no wonder. She's been possessed in this between these two seasons more times than any other character, I think, in any game I've ever run in my nearly 30 years of running games.
I keep volunteering.
Yeah.
One time she was possessed by two things at once.
Yeah. I wanted to quickly say thank you to all the subscribers and resubscribers. Thank you, Struggle Princess, for the resubscription, and thank you to Coco Elixir for your subscription with Prime. Thank you all so
Nice.
much. Okay, we are going to jump right into it. At the end of the last session, they received Elise specifically, received an invitation for her and Nightsky Coven to appear at a black and white gala at Phaedra Svoboda's mansion in Manhattan. It's actually a penthouse. So, a mansion by New York standards. Wow.
Mansion in the air.
Exactly. Castle in the sky, one might say. And we'll start with Elise arriving fashionably late to the front entrance. And does anyone else want to join Elise there at the front entrance, or do you want to take other means to get in?
I guess that
We do have a map, so we know all the means.
That is
I
true.
guess it depends if Elise's invite had the options for +1 or not.
The option for plus entire coven is completely acceptable, yes. Just a little background on Phaedra. Phaedra is a well-known wild witch and socialite who has ins with all of the factions. All of the factions that are willing to play ball, anyway.
I don't know that those ins are legitimate. But then again, neither am I.
Yarrow wants to enter in the shadows.
Okay.
Which is she wants to take the darkest, most back kitchen route and just sneaks in from the corner shadows.
Okay. All right. Anybody else going in the shadow route?
I'm gonna go with Elise because in a previously established episode, we figured out that Seth apparently owns a tailcoat. I'll just
That's
be
right.
like Elise's escort.
Awesome. Do you want to be in your normal natural form, or do you want to impersonate?
I'll just be normal form for now.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, can you give a quick description, like skin color and uh, outfit?
Okay, so black tailcoat for the black and white gala, of course, have to fit in, can't embarrass Elise.
Certainly not.
But the sleeves are cut up the side so that way the fins can come out. The wrists, the gills are kind of poking the collar down a little bit funny. But bluish green, iridescent kind of skin, scaly, little bit slimy.
Yeah, you don't turn off the slime. Part of the
No.
charm.
And I can't
That's
fit my
why
legs
they
because
can't
I'm fresh
rent
shoes,
their
so
own
I'll go
tops.
barefoot.
How about you, Anya?
Um, I'm trying to decide if I don't know how embarrassing Hollis would be.
That's a little conversation that the two of you might have had in private before you arrived, if you want to play that out.
Depending on Elisa's gown, Hollis could be like hiding underneath like a tent.
It depends also, is Hollis going to start asking people to kill her immediately?
No, no. I think she would probably use her her helm of darkness and sneak in.
Oh, okay. Going the sneaky route. Do you want to do that with Yarrow or separately?
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
follow Yarrow in the shadows and kind of be sideways of the shadows.
Okay. Yeah, why don't you describe your new ability, Helm of Darkness, and let people know what exactly you're doing?
Okay, so Helm of Darkness basically lets you kind of step over into the underworld and sneak into places so that you are completely invisible while you're moving around in the physical world, but the things in the underworld can see you. So you
Very
kind of trade one worry for another. But you get through the physical world invisible.
yeah.
Have
Yeah.
to find out more about Malcolm while you're there.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. So Azalin, since Yarrow is the only one that's going in that's gonna require a roll, what would you like to use?
Let's see. I would I would assume that'd be like a prowling.
Okay, yeah, I
Okay,
think that makes a lot of sense. Um, okay.
Which we'll see how successful I am with my loud hooves.
But at least Elise won't be there with you dragging you down.
Yeah, well, and my 0 die roll of prow.
Oh no, really? 0?
Yes, it's 0. It's
It's
gonna
as
be
bad
fun.
as me.
Yeah, we'll see how well I can get through the back entrance. Which is a failure, which is funny because the other die and that was a 5. Since I had 0, I had to take the lower one, and maybe if somebody just instantly like heard me
Yeah.
clip clopping.
Yeah, I think you're able to get like 15 of the 17 stories up. And then you hit a section where they haven't like put down, sound dampening things on the like these little outdoor carpets and stuff on the stairs. And you hit that first metal stair with your hoof, and it just makes a loud clang, and you see two men 3 stories above you peek their head over the railing of the emergency staircase, and they're both smoking, and yeah, just leaning their heads over. Their hair looks all messed up. Who knows what they were doing up there? But they're
I feel
wearing really
I think I
nice.
do.
But they're wearing very, very nice suits. And
don't mind me.
they spot you, and they look down and they see your hooves and your horns, and they're just like, what's going on here? And they're like, you came up the wrong way, miss. Um,
Like, oh, you know me, always getting confused. Thought I'd go to the bathroom first.
they pull their heads back, and you can hear them talking to each other. And what do you want to do?
Oh, basically, I'm just gonna try to laugh it off and stumble my way the rest of the way. Like, oh, I'm already drunk. Yeah, sure.
Ah, there you go.
Maybe
Okay.
if I just act a little tipsy.
Sure, yeah, you did
Perfect excuse.
a little pre-gaming.
Yeah,
Sure.
I just had to go to the bathroom, and I thought going back in the back entrance just to go straight to the bathroom would look better than beelining from the front entrance. Sure.
Okay, awesome. What do you want to use for that?
I guess I'm gonna do a 0 die roll consort.
Oh, a consort, okay. I was thinking sway might work as well.
Sway, yeah, which is the
Oh,
same.
it's
I
the
mean,
same? Do you want to
yeah.
use some willpower to increase the effect level or increase your dice? It also
Yeah, I was actually wanting to try that once because I can add a die
you could
with
also
my new power, right? With one essence.
what's that? New power.
Alacrity, is that how you say
Oh,
it?
yeah. Actually, well, I mean, alacrity basically, you vanish from where you're at, and without making a noise, you just run straight up those stairs faster than they can see or react to you. I would say if you spend an essence on alacrity, I wouldn't even say you need to make a roll.
Yeah,
If all
let's
you're
just
trying to
zoom
do is
ourselves back up there.
you're just trying to get up there to them, you'll be standing directly behind them if you just want to get up to where they're at.
How about I guess we're just going to the top, right?
Yeah, she'll be in the penthouse for sure.
Yeah, let's just zoom right up to the top and just like, okay. It's like, oh, did they even see that? They don't even know. They-
Yeah. Do you want to do anything to them once you're up there, or do you just want to spend the essence and be up there behind them and decide on what you want to do?
I think once I get up there, I might have a little fun with them, but
Okay.
just like, oh, hi, guys.
So in a flash, you nearly vanish from where you're at and race up 3 flights of stairs in about half a second, and you come sort of skidding to a halt behind the two of them, and they haven't even had a chance to react. One of them's looking over and can't find where you went. The other one is checking out the other one while he's looking over the edge, kind of checking out his ass.
I just pop up like, I think you guys have had too much to drink. I wanna go in now, okay?
Awesome. That definitely sounds like a sway. Because but I'm gonna give you increased effect if you want to go with that, because I think that what you just did is definitely confusing enough that
So
they
I'll
might.
still do my 0 die
Yeah, you
swing.
can take a Fey bargain or spend 2 essence if you want to increase the
No,
dice.
I'd rather gamble with
Okay,
with this one here.
sounds good. Oh
And I
no,
failed again.
it's another one.
I'm horrible at swing. Yarrow's too awkward.
So they're like, "We're not drunk. You're drunk." I told
Damn
you.
it.
I told you to go back down the way you came. And one of them reaches over and hits the bangs on the door 3 times. Now you can choose to resist that if you want to do something before he gets a chance to knock on the door. That's gonna raise you up from controlled to risky.
No, I'm
Also,
curious.
Hollis is there with you if you don't mind arriving through the same route.
Yeah,
All
that's
right, so
fine.
you're up there and you're invisible. Um, in the spirit world, you know that you're walking upstairs, but in the spirit world, those stairs don't exist. So you
Yeah.
are like 190 feet off the ground, looking down at what looks like the world's largest graveyard below you.
Fun.
All
Well,
right.
you
Okay.
get a fun scenic route up.
Yeah. Um, let's see.
First, does Yara want to resist the guard making a fuss?
No, I'm curious. Who are you making a fuss to? Let's see what's gonna happen.
All right. So when he reaches out, you see there's something black in his hand, and when he hits the door, it kind of smacks against the door. It seems to be rubber or latex or something.
Hmm. Interesting. Does it have a resonance? Because that's my grimoire sense.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't have a strong resonance that you can pick up
Okay, so
immediately.
it's just a thing.
Actually, if you want to give me a focus, there is a chance. Right? Now
You
that I'm
said a
think,
focus roll.
yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it,
Let's see. I actually have something, and that's a partial
yay.
success.
Okay. Yep. There's
A low one.
definitely some psyche resonance on the
Okay.
thing in his hand, and you're actually now that you pick up that resonance, you're seeing it in several places. There's a camera nearby that you can see is not connected, but it has magical resonance on it, also from a psyche.
Well,
All right.
Not me, for once.
yeah.
Nobody instantly comes to the door, but Hollis, if you want to take an action.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe I could just go through the door and like open it out towards them and be like, "There you are. Come on." And see if I can get them to just let us go past.
Yarrow gives a pretend hiccup real quick.
Can you pass through a closed door? I think you might be able to, but it's probably going to take an action. What do you think you
Yeah.
would use to get through a door that's sort
Uh
of spiritually almost non-existent, but it's kind of still there?
I guess focus maybe? Like I would focus on getting my spiritual physical self through the door.
Yeah, you sort of put your hands on the door and start to push and see if you can just force yourself through it,
Yeah.
will yourself through it. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. Righty. Let's see. Maybe if I have better luck today.
Well, Zaelwyn's taken all the bad dice
The
luck. So.
bad luck.
Ooh.
Hey, complete success.
Okay. So you can describe what that looks like.
Okay, yeah, Hollis in the underworld can floating super high off the ground, can kind of see this door and she's gonna kind of like tap at it a little bit, just to see how physical it is. And then she's gonna place her hands out in front of her and just kind of be like, through the door, through the door, through the door, and just to move herself through the door.
Yeah, at first it seems completely solid, like it's not going to give way at all. But within 2 or 3 seconds of you repeating this mantra to yourself, you feel yourself being sort of almost pulled through the door, and you appear on the other side. You takes you a minute to get your bearings. You're in a new area in a new
Yeah.
room, but if you just turn right around, and you're gonna make yourself visible there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I tell if there's anybody else, like if I make myself visible right here, if there's a bunch of people right here?
Um. Yeah. So you you take a look around before you become visible again, and you
Yeah.
can see that there's definitely been some recent activity here, and you can hear people coming toward you, but there's nobody in your immediate vicinity. So if you uh leave the spirit world, the underworld, then people wouldn't be that surprised to see you here.
Okay. So I'm just gonna pop myself out and try to save Yarrow from these guards.
Sure. All right. What do you want to use?
Um, I guess the most logical thing to use would be sway.
That makes sense. That's gonna be risky, I think, because you're in an unauthorized area.
Mm-hmm.
But standard effect.
Okay. I'm gonna spend 2 willpower to give myself an extra die
Okay.
because this is not my strongest suit here. Okay. Let's see. Where's my mouse? No, these guys are very upset.
Okay. You push on the door, and it doesn't seem to want to open from the inside. And that's when 3 very muscular-looking men in suits and gimp masks come running up behind you
Oh no.
and grab a hold of you, and they swipe some kind of key card in front of the door, and that's when it unlocks and opens. And they have their hands on you. So 2 of them have their hands on you, and the other one in the key card. You want to resist any of that?
Um, I'll resist them having their hands that they caught me.
Okay, so you want to just dodge them, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be a prowess resist.
Okay.
Morningstar hasn't rolled yet, so the dice are upset.
Complete success.
Okay.
They're getting all the bad rolls out of the way before me and saving me an awful trouble down the line.
Yeah, we probably talked about this beforehand, just so we could get this all out of the way. All right. Awesome. So that doesn't cost you any willpower, and you're able to duck, dodge, and dive away from these 2 masked men. But you duck between their legs?
Yeah. And I figure I would probably at this point run out into the party and try to find Elise and let them know what's going on. Because
You
they're
have
a lot.
telepathic replay, darling, or relay,
Oh
darling.
yeah,
do.
that's true. Okay, Elise, please help us. We're dealing with guards. And nobody has any command.
All right.
Could have just entered through the door.
Okay.
This was more fun.
So, Hollis, you duck and roll between their legs, and when you pop back up and head in the direction that you think the party's going to be in, you find yourself in a kitchen. A very large, almost industrial kitchen. There are a dozen or more very, very strong looking suited men in here.
In the kitchen?
In the kitchen. Some of them are wearing their masks, some of them are not. And when they turn and see you, because they see you, they all start putting on their masks.
That's right. I'm the mask inspector. Show me your mask.
6 feet apart.
Okay.
Zip them on.
Let us jump back to Elise and Seth. Elise and Seth, you immediately meet up with door guards, which are 2 very devastatingly handsome men, probably in their early to mid 20s, who look like every day is arm day. Probably a good bit of the days are leg day, but definitely every day is arm day. And they're wearing very beautifully tailored suits, black and white, and they inspect your invitation and tell you that Phaedra will see you inside along with the others and ask you if there's anywhere you need directed to.
Kitchen.
Where is dear Phaedra, it's been years, and I simply must go and pay my respect immediately.
They look at each other like, is she dead? And they're like, oh, she'll greet you inside. And as soon as the door opens, you have drinks and hors d'oeuvres being pushed toward you by further handsome, muscular gents. These are wearing gimp masks.
Well, then they're muscular at least. We can't be sure they're handsome.
Yeah, they're yeah, you're right. That's true. If they're anything like the other two.
Well, I turn to Seth once we step in and have our drinks. And well, I don't have to talk to them at all, I suppose. Our brains are connected, so I can look at them and simply articulate that we need to find a way to get Hollis and Yarrow out of that little mess they've gotten in without disappearing before we are able to see our host. It'd be terribly rude of us if we just stepped away, and they would certainly come find us.
And I telepathy back to Elise, asking if she thinks they have shrimp cocktail.
I'm certain, darling, and plenty of oysters.
Oh yeah, this is a seafood soiree to be sure. You can smell
I'm just
several.
picturing Steph like having no decorum and just like trying to mash food into the mouth of like the waiters who have like the gimp masks on. It's just like smearing. Just Steph is not one for high society. They don't know what's going on.
All right.
Okay. I
Apparently,
guess we gotta find the kitchen.
the kerfuffle is far enough away that you're not hearing anything. You're not hearing any alarms. Nobody's shouting at one another or anything like that out here. You can see that there are already 5 or 6 extremely well-dressed individuals inside of the room. Most of them seem to have paired off to a degree, and you can see Phaedra has her back turned to you, but she is in the room. I don't think you would immediately recognize any of the other people here, although if there's somebody that you wanted to try to help, see if you're able to find them. Looking around, it's not clear where the kitchen might necessarily be, except that you do manage to, or Seth manages to clear off an entire hors d'oeuvre tray, and you see where the masked gentleman leaves the room, and so you assume he is going back to the resupply.
It was strictly a tactical maneuver. Empty the plate, they'll have to refill it. We'll find the kitchen that way.
There's a brain in that head after.
There's a
It's
brain
mostly
in
shrimp. Mostly shrimp.
a brain in all of Seth's tentacles. All right, so it's going to take them some time to get to you anyway, so let's go back to Yarrow and Hollis. Is there anything you'd like to do?
So when they swiped that key card, did they open the door to the outside?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it unlocked and then sort of opened on a spring. So it popped open, and the first thing they see is Yarrow standing there. Then the next thing they see is the 2 very confused guards.
Can I use
very quickly pulling on their gimp masks.
Can I use Spring to just like spring into Hollis and just be like, "Oh, it's Hollis," like my friend. Oh, thank you, and just like literally see if maybe doing that we can bump into everybody else.
Yeah, well, I
Not
think you would have to get through 3 people, but I think you could do that at reduced effect because you are a very springy individual.
I'm a fairly springy individual. So
Yeah.
let's see.
Normally I would say no effect, but because you're a satyr, I'm going to say reduced effect.
Let's see.
Good to see you,
A
Dark Soul.
partial
Thanks for coming
success.
out.
We go.
Awesome.
It's like
That
I
roll.
barely stumbled through.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Let's see. For the partial
Gerald just sees
success.
Hollis and is like, my baby, my baby.
For the partial success, I think one of the suited and masked men grabs a hold of your arm, so you're like almost all the way free from the entire group that's chasing you, and you have got to Hollis, but one of them reaches out and is able to stop you, grabs your arm. You can resist that.
Okay, I would like to resist that.
Okay.
We'll see if I can prowess, like spin my way out of it.
Mhm.
Like the drunkard gracefulness
Yeah.
sometimes.
Nice.
And it's a
That's-
R for resist,
It
correct?
is, yep.
Yay! I resisted with 1 willpower.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, you were able to wriggle your arm free. There's a little bit of a back and forth. He reaches in, gets a better grip with his second hand, and then you just wrench your hand away from him and sort of do a drunken sidestep down the hall with Hollis. And the two of you are now pointed into the kitchen with 5 men behind you and a dozen men in the next room that they don't look like they're particularly prepared to get in your way, but they are.
I just start giggling and it's like, look, an entourage.
They're cooking and they're plating hors d'oeuvres and refilling empty champagne glasses, things like that.
Well, they weren't expecting us, but
They
maybe
were
we're
not.
just like, okay, we're supposed to be here going through.
You see a set of double doors that probably leads out to where the party is, and then you can see several other hallways and doorways that lead off to back portion of this penthouse.
So we've had access to the like blueprints and stuff,
Mhm.
so we should know where we need to go to.
Yeah, you can.
We don't necessarily know where the diadem is being stored.
True. But it would give you a reduced willpower cost for any flashbacks. They'll all be reduced by 1.
Like,
Okay,
should
do we need to do a flashback to know where we're going?
It depends. Tell me where you want to be going.
Well, my first instinct was to go to the party, but I think since we're looking for a specific thing, correct?
Yeah, Elise, do you want to fill them in?
Yes, I suppose I haven't really told you what we're here for. Many, many years ago, I was a much younger lady, Phaedra and I were close friends. We happened upon a certain artifact that once belonged to Helen of Troy. Well, Phaedra went and stole it from me. Now it is quite powerful. Could help us do a lot. Moreover, as a thief, surely it's fair that we just take it back anyhow.
So, what is it? What does it look like?
A crown, a diadem.
Okay, a crown. Okay.
And it could be anywhere based on what you saw in those blueprints. They seemed accurate to everything Elise remembers of this place. If I assume she's been here before in the distant past, and it's an established.
Been remodeled.
Mhm. But it all matches with what you would expect as far as room structure and everything. But you don't have a solid idea of where it might be kept. It doesn't look like, based on the blueprints, that there's any kind of like vault or anything like that here.
Yeah.
If
Not that they couldn't bring their own.
if there was a vault, it'd probably be in the basement or on the first floor, rather than up here in the penthouse.
Well, Yarrow, you can kind of, in a way, detect magical items, correct?
Yeah, I was wondering if I could focus to see if if it had a resonance at all, or if it was just a mundane crown, but yeah,
Yeah, I think based
I
on
Certainly
assume.
has the resonance.
I think based on what the information Elise has given you, you have an idea of sort of what the fingerprint of something like that would be. Whether or not it radiates its magic powerfully enough for you to see it through walls is still to be seen. But it's definitely worth your time if you get into a controlled position, maybe to try something like that. Now remember, the two of you could effectively vanish from where you're at right now if you mentally told each other where you wanted to go, and Yarrow used Alacrity and Hollis used Helm of Darkness. The two of you would effectively vanish and go wherever you want, just not through any like locked doors or anything.
Okay.
And
Well,
how brilliant.
yeah.
Functioning.
How about we start searching all these non-party rooms? Because I don't expect them to like trot around the party with it on their head or anything like that. So, yeah, let's check some back rooms.
Who knows? Maybe they are. It's a fabulous.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah, I would say Elise and Seth, you didn't see any sign of it on the party floor. But then again, the party hasn't really kicked into full swing yet, so it's possible it might make an appearance sometime later in the evening. But yeah, for now, um, so what are you guys doing?
Um, let's check bedrooms first.
Okay. Well, you can just really tell me what you're looking for, and like if it's that specifically, and we can just make a roll. You don't need to worry about like all the different kinds of places. It'll just
Well,
depend
yes, I
on.
am looking for that specifically.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, you guys are going to go into the sort of hopefully less used currently, not during a party anyway, the less used rooms and looking for anything. Okay. What would you like to use as far as an action?
I guess if I'm going in Helm of Darkness, that'd be another essence spent, and then um let's see, I would probably want to do a study to see if I could find it.
Okay.
Or should it be like target since I'm specifically looking for a specific thing?
I feel like Yarrow, with her ability, target might make sense. For you, I think survey would be your best bet, but study could work too.
Yeah.
Just maybe at
Either way,
reduced
they have the
effect.
same dot.
I think survey makes a little bit more sense. Sort
Okay.
of, peeking your head indoors invisibly and, stuff like that.
I'm gonna spin the willpower and get an extra die.
So do you want to do this as a group action and use the same action, or do you want to do them separately?
I think
Over.
that it makes
Go
sense.
ahead.
I think it would make sense if, I mean, at the same time, like while we're falling into each other, I use alacrity, and it's like, oh no, they were 1 minute they were falling, and next, zoop.
We're gone.
They knocked into each other and completely phased out of existence.
Weird.
Yeah, spend an extra essence to make a cloud of witchy
I can
fog.
pull up some Tartarus fog.
Yeah.
Need magical
Smells
components
like
on me.
brimstone.
I think if you want to do
Smoke
that, there
bomb.
you will you would definitely have a chance of eliminating uh people coming after you immediately if they think you
Went to hell.
combusted with each other or something. Wow, thanks for
Okay.
the subscription, Viridian Swain. What a cool
Thanks.
name.
Yeah, I'll throw in some of that underworld stinky fog to distract them.
Okay.
And yeah,
So
flavor it underworld.
I keep magical components on me too, so maybe in there could be just a little bit of black
Flashbang.
powder. Just like,
throw a little bit of like pixie dust in the air.
Glitter.
Yeah.
actual just glitter. It is just glitter.
They're like, these people are heinous.
Nobody knows, but Yarrow just has an excessive amount of glitter and like bedazzles in their free time.
Literally,
Okay.
that
They got
glitter is
their
never going to
crafting
get out of
skills
those
so
gimp
high.
suits.
Awesome. So one essence for Hollis and one essence for Yarrow for alacrity. And then let's do let's start an 8 clock. I'll go ahead and write that down. This 8 clock is that they're gonna come looking for you again.
Okay.
But for now they're not.
You stay quiet.
Yeah. Okay. And
They might attempt that from here on out.
So how much is on that clock? He said 2?
it's an
8.
8 and it's gonna be empty right now.
Okay.
Because of this this extremely special effect that they have concocted. All right. Glitter is just gay sand, exactly.
It's inch.
All right. And then an action roll. Who wants to the group action?
Are we gonna do? Is this the
The group
like getting
survey?
survey?
Does
Sure.
that work for Yara?
I have one in that too, so I think we would be even on that. Let's see how much willpower do we each have to eat up just in case. 1, 2, 3. I have 5 open.
I have like 6 open, so it's about the same.
If you all
I
here
can lead it
had
since I was the one that fell in and started the whole action. I'll take the hit.
if y'all had
Okay.
Elise with you, she could use Master Planner. Completely destroy the willpower cost of this, but all right.
Too busy eating cocktail shrimp.
Yep.
I mean, in theory, she could plan from far away using her mind.
That's true, as long as you were willing to make that same roll that with them. A
I'm
survey.
willing to make the same roll.
Okay. So what does that look like? You're surveying and you're doing it through telepathy.
Elise turns away from the crowd, untucks the little bit of map she has, opens and have a look at the blueprints that she has kept on her person,
Awesome.
so that she can essentially take a bird's eye view of the penthouse and using the telepathic bond guide her covermates.
Fantastic. And I think because don't you have telepathic relay, or have you taken that yet?
I don't know,
Okay.
so I can't spread all the willpower about like that, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, still,
My
you're
audio
gonna.
cut out at the perfect moment. It was just Elise untucks, and then I went quiet for
That's
me.
what I heard too, and I was like, "Wow, we're really getting the lore." All right. So yeah, Elise is leading this group survey. That's going to cost
Okay.
at least 1 willpower to start.
Now I got a complete success.
Wow.
Nice.
Elise just
So
kicking the thing right out of the park right off the bat.
3, that's a critical, by the way, because I have
Wow.
Master Planner.
Oh,
Oh,
my
is
God.
it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. That is. Wow. Okay.
Nice.
A double
Not
critical.
only do you poof away, you get the gay sand in their eyes.
Okay.
I take it that doesn't cost me much more willpower.
No, that costs you literally nothing. It would
To
have cost
further
you
the lore
one.
that the dice love Morningstar.
Yeah, well, they loved all of you that time. That's amazing. Okay, double critical. So I think that means that the two of you both show up to the first room Elise tells you to check, and you have sussed immediately that Phaedra is really interested in making sure everyone sees her artifact room, because it's basically a small museum inside of her penthouse. And you get to the doors, you can see um, two rectangular glass windows with some kind of mesh running through them. There are signs on the door. Um, one says like secure area, and the other one says do not enter. This means you. And when Yarrow and Hollis read that sign, it literally etches itself into your mind through magic. So you can choose to resist that, or you'll
You telling me
take.
not to do something just makes me want to do it even more, so it can just be etched in there. It's fine.
As I should
Well,
have told everyone that she is of psychic, which just like myself, so
yeah.
keep your minds
So
sharp.
if you do not choose to resist it, you will take reduced effect on anything you do inside of a room that has been marked that it is not for you.
Okay, I'll try to resist it then. What am I
That's going to
resisting
be
with?
resolve resist.
Okay.
Yarrow, you as well?
Yes, I'm going to resist, and I'm going to use Alacrity again and use Essence so I can have 2 extra die.
So that
Does that
doesn't
count for
work.
that?
It's more of a physical resist thing, rather than
The power, I see it now.
yeah.
The little writing, I didn't see that
Oh,
already.
okay.
I don't
So
have it big enough.
Anya with Hollis, you're able to completely shake off the effect.
I'm like, fuck you and your brain games.
Oh, not me though.
All
Here,
right,
speak no evil.
Yarrow. It worms its way into your head, and you nearly have to like scratch at your like eyelids to like get to sort of mentally force this image out of your head. It's so solidly embedded. But if you're willing to go for it, you can can remove it from yourself.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll take the hit and just be I'll have to be really careful that I don't trauma.
Yeah. So that costs
Maybe
you 3 will.
maybe I hit I don't like it in there and I'm like literally I hit my head until
Yeah, I was
it
thinking something like that. No physical harm necessarily, although if you want to take some harm, it would count as an XP trigger.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe I'd give myself a concussion.
Okay. Yeah,
Just
Rub
'cause
maybe.
your eyes like really hard and get like the spots so you can't actually see the words.
I hit my horns on like the wall hard enough where
Yeah.
I'm like, get it out. I don't like any of that.
Yeah. So you all hear her hoofs slam against the floor, and then her head just comes down on it like a goat, just slams into the wall. And yeah, you feel that it like mentally disjar itself, and sort of a puff of astral energy comes out of your ears. But yeah, you give yourself a level 1 harm, mild concussion. All right.
It's like you cannot control me. Now I'm just gonna be spacey the whole time. You don't have enough badges to train me.
So yeah, that's how hardcore she has this stuff all
Yeah.
magicked up for you guys.
Oh,
But
fine.
yeah, the door, it does appear to be locked, however, on top of all that. And
Mm.
I think we're going to take a very quick break, and then we'll find out what Elise and Steph are up to as more guests are
You know
beginning
what
to.
Seth's up to? Eating more fish.
We'll be
Moved
right-
on to the muscles now.
Nice. We'll be right back. welcome back to Nightsky Sanctum. We are in the middle of a black and white gala at Elise's rivals party in a penthouse in Manhattan. And Hollis and Yarrow, with Elise's psychic help, have located the door that leads to the room where the diadem they have come to steal resides. And Seth is noshing on every little piece of seafood they can find.
Le poisson.
You
Elise.
are what you eat.
Yeah. Elise, as soon as you finish assisting them, you retuck your map and uh and you see several more people enter the party. This time it's a couple, and it's the first pair. It's the first pair that you recognize. You had done a job for them way, way back in the day. Actually, when you worked with Phaedra in the past, you had pulled a heist for them. It is a husband and wife couple who are the founders of Crescent Systems. They are a pair of formerly wild witches. They're eclectic witches. They're the ones that are trying to make technology that witches. And so you notice them as soon as they come in. They immediately bypass you. They give you that look of, you've worked for me in the past, you've probably done illegal stuff for me, and so I'm going to pretend that you don't exist. And they walk right past you and go and talk to another couple that they spot from across the room. Who you had.
Tempting to do some blackmail, but I can't actually accept credits, so
But you haven't been introduced to anyone yet because you haven't said anything to Phaedra. So she's sort of waiting for you come up to her to exchange pleasantries before she introduces you around to anybody she thinks you'll be interested in.
yes, it's quite vital that I go and make that introduction to her, or that greeting. It's been 10 years.
And you,
And old friends, practically bosom buddies, we need to put the past behind us. While everyone else is stealing back my ground.
indeed. Well, she greets you like an old friend, of course, as you would
Hateful
100% expect. If you stabbed her in the back last week and she met you at this gala, she would greet you as a friend. You know that as well as anyone else.
That's how we work.
One must keep up appearances after all. So yes.
Precisely.
She as soon as you make eye contact with her, she walks right over and introduces herself to you and Seth and expects introductions in turn.
Oh, my darling Phaedra, this is my dear fishy friend Seth. They're quite simple, but they have their charms. When they're, not eating all.
Like 3 shrimp tails sticking out of my mouth.
Yeah, she doesn't even know what to expect, so she just thinks it's part of your anatomy. She looks
So
around.
is all the cocktail sauce dribbling down the tube. That's just blood.
Just
Don't
blood.
worry about it.
Yeah. Her blood's not blue. I just realized that had a very double meaning, and yes, it is very true. Her blood is not blue in any respect. Or their blood.
It might literally be.
Yeah. So, Phaedra looks around and is immediately, you see her going into matchmaker mode. and she's looking around and trying to figure out who she should introduce you to help, to help your career, possibly to get you in trouble, whatever she feels like at the moment. So let's see. You hear her kind of mumbling. She's not. She's mumbling under her breath, but you know that she knows exactly what she's doing. She's rattling off the names of factions and waiting to see how you react to them. So she mumbles Obsidian Council, Legion of the Griffin, Destiny Research Group, of course, Scarlet Incarnation. She kind of looks at you when she says Scarlet Incarnation. I assume she sees a little twinkle. Are you gonna let that slide, or?
Well, maybe the subtlest of smirks, but I don't think Elise is all that secretive about her.
Yeah, I didn't figure it would be a big
Tying
deal.
herself to assassins. I think she'd be relatively open about that with Phaedra.
Okay. Yeah, so she sees that sort of twinkle when she says Scarlet Incarnation, and she sort of tilts her head and nods a little yes and points you to a woman with flaming red hair.
We match.
Actually, I feel like you met when you were on the boat with the what are they? The floating market. Didn't you meet a red-haired woman that you became friends with?
Kind of cool. I only know Cookie.
Yeah, that might be who I'm thinking of. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so
Nose Candy Cookie.
yep. So that's who you see. That she points you toward. But it's actually she says no, the other one. And beyond Cookie, you see another person who's standing back there, another woman, and they seem to be hitting it off pretty well. And she says, yeah, she's with them, the Scarlet Incarnation.
Well, I shall have to go make some introductions. But Phaedra, darling, I must know, how have you been, my oldest friend?
Uh, she puts her hand above her breast and like does a fainting motion. Life's so hard. Um, but holding it together.
I also want to specify I put a lot of stress on oldest.
Oh, okay, good.
Just to be insulting.
Yeah. Do you want to do anything with that action wise?
No,
You don't
no.
want to like
I'm
really.
just.
You don't really
That's
want to
just
kick
how
her.
we chat.
Okay. Because
I'm.
if there's anybody in the world that you could spar with in this way, it's probably her. So,
It's true. I'm not sure what exactly action that would be, or what the intended result would be necessarily.
right.
Just to trade a small barb.
I
Really,
think it would be. I think it would be a superiority thing. It would be saying we're on your home turf, but I'm at least on the same level with you right now.
Well, you do persuade me, darling. What do you think that would be as a role?
Hmm. I mean, if you did it in the most friendly manner possible, then I guess it would be something like a consort. But yeah, if it's, I don't know. Did I lose you? I think I might have lost everybody. Yep, I have no anything. I seem to have lost everything except my connection to the internet. So if everyone will bear with me just a moment, I'm going to see what I can do to get us back on track. I'll be right back. Hello again, and welcome back. Sorry about that. It looks like Discord crashed on us and took everybody else's cameras away from us, and it was a very sad day. However, that day has come to an end. It is a new day, a day in which Discord works, and Elise's joke will probably land better now. They're back on camera.
My
So
joke / question,
Yeah.
darling, was what does one roll for passive aggression?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I would say brawl.
Roll. And that's later. That's the result of the passive aggression.
That's aggressive aggression.
The act of aggression.
Is it some linguistic finesse?
You know, I think you could be springing it on her. You know, because that is the way you like surprise people with things. Spring doesn't necessarily refer to only, physically springing. So if you're trying to surprise and shock her, I think that could work. Otherwise, I think sway would probably make a lot of sense.
I think I would roll it as a sway because I don't know if it would necessarily be intended to shock or surprise.
Well, I mean, if you wanted to specifically get like a rise, like get her to show the emotion on her face rather than conceal it. Conceal, don't feel. So yeah, completely up to you. It's whatever you want to get out of her.
I think the more subtle approach. Again,
Okay.
I don't really want to get anything out of this, but I do like the idea of rolling for passive aggression. So,
I love it.
so I am going to, in fact, even throw some willpower behind that.
Okay, are you
To
going to do that to increase the effect level or to increase your dice?
to increase the effect level, I'm still going to roll one dice, and we're going to see how well that goes.
Awesome.
But we'll see if it's a scathing bit of passive aggression or not.
I'm going to say this is controlled. Wow.
It's a 5.
Partial success. So yeah, why don't you describe what this well actually you already kind of gave it to us.
I told you what the insult
yeah.
was before I even decided it was an insult. My oldest friend.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think she takes a step back, but on her off leg, and when she does, she breaks her heel. And she's able to stay standing, but yeah, she just snaps the heel. And her eyes go wide. And she sort of does her best to not look like a crab walking out of the room on a
Lest
broken
Seth
heel.
try to eat her.
Yes. And so yeah, she leaves the room for a moment, giving you reign over her domain. But that was a partial success, so let's see. As soon as she disappears out of your view, she immediately tells some of her men that they need to make a show of force. Wow! She nearly dive-bombed the camera there. Yeah, she tells her men inside the kitchen that they need to make a show of force and redouble their efforts. And so 2 men in gimp masks come out and stand on the outside of that set of double doors that lead into the kitchen. And then 2 more men come out of the kitchen and go to the front doors and stand on the inside of the front doors to provide some extra security. Thank you, Dumpus555, for the follow. We are getting so close to our new goal of 616 wild witches. Thank you, thank you.
She really does not like these gloves.
It's lovely. Okay, so Yarrow and Hollis. Actually, Steph, is there anything you want to do before we switch to Yarrow and Hollis?
Besides being shellfish.
Don't be selfish with all that shellfish.
Too late.
That is
No, I think I'm gonna be just like Elisa's backup. So like when Elise
okay.
is ready to move, I'm just gonna be ready.
Yeah, that's like your you were showing your heritage here. Okay. So Yarrow and Hollis. Oh, 666 is after 616. Don't worry, we're gonna aim for that next. But 616 is the actual proper number. So uh Yarrow and Hollis. Yarrow is recovering from her mild concussion. And the two of you find yourself at a locked door that leads to what looks like a decked out uh, museum room, very much like the Museum of Modern Artifacts that you've been in many times before. But yeah, it maybe was even done by the same decorator.
Well, I have arcane supremacy. I can maybe try to unlock the door.
Yeah, that I think that makes sense.
You tried a lockpick yet?
I think it's just an essence spend. How many essence for this specific door?
I think it's just one for any lock. But it's a tier 3 lock and you're a tier 2 coven, so it's gonna be reduced effect. You might have to do it well, I would say maybe spend another essence. That'll give you standard effect.
Okay.
Might be the best way.
And then I figure maybe a focus.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I can't remember if that's the default for that action, but yeah, I think focus makes.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Okay.
It does actually list again. I was like, I can't read it. That one has more words in there, so it's like,
It
yeah.
does. It's a long one, yeah.
Okay, so let's see. I had to double check what I had there. Yay. A partial success out of 4. I can.
Okay. Okay. So, what does this look like when you do arcane supremacy? What does that look like as far as your spell work and everything goes?
So I think I have by now I think I figured out how to establish like what casting style kind of style I want to do, and basically I just like I'll start with the horns from my horns and take my hands down and basically focus it like where I need to, and it's kind of like a triangle
Yeah.
all from my eyes to horns to hands, and I'm just like pointing like how it all started. It's like get it all focused in.
Cool. And what does that do? It like telekinetically opens the lock, or is it sort of
Yeah, I can basically tell I can move the tumbles around, and
okay?
it's basically like a telekinetic lockpick.
Yeah, that sounds
Which
awesome.
is funny because I do have greater telekinesis too, which also uses focus. So.
Cool. Okay. So I think for the partial success, I think the door won't relock. Um, it's not like being magically, like permanently magically unlocked or anything. It's just the force of your spell, jammed some of those tumblers up into the lock, and yeah, the thing's just not gonna relock properly even when you close the door. But yeah, I think that's about it.
I was a little too overzealous. It's okay. Well, I guess now they can tell if somebody's gone through and unlock this, but
But
if
at least they won't know your resonance.
exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we'll get in there. We'll like travel a little further and see what's going on.
Yep, the door opens just fine. Actually, it's like a really smooth door. You can tell she was going for, the experience. When when these doors open, they like slide open like they're on rails. It's super smooth like butter. And yeah, you can see everything's laid out beautifully and pretty much in the center of the room, kind of exactly where you would expect it. If it is the gem of her collection, the way Elisa's described it, is a diadem sitting on top of a very fancy foam head in the middle of a museum display case.
I do love the idea of a very fancy, wealthy woman using a foam head to hold an artifact.
Maybe slightly in the background, Billie Eilish plays. You should see me in a crown.
I will send a mental image of this crown to Elise so you can confirm or deny if this is the one that we're looking for.
Well, I suppose it likely is. I suppose that's up to Gavin. Is this
Oh,
the
it
one that
is, yeah.
Elise would know?
As
Oh,
far as
right.
you're aware, yeah. From
As far as I can see from here. From through Horse of Mine. So, at this point, I think we should perhaps do a flashback to something earlier, wherein, if Yarrow was willing, we worked together to make a facsimile.
Yes.
cool. I think since the two of you are working together, you can decide how you want to pay that willpower cost. We could even split it between you.
Well, I
Or
can take it.
okay.
I have 6 more dollars.
Yeah, I think that would be a 1 willpower flashback. So yeah, if Elise wants to take that, then Yarrow, that would just be your ability that lets you craft items. I think that's called minor creation.
Yeah, I have lesser creation.
Oh,
I
that's
also
it.
have artificer.
I think if you just want it to look the same,
Okay.
minor creation should.
All right. Yeah, which is just craft +1 essence. Ooh, fun.
You're a very good crafter, if I remember.
Yeah, I have at least 2 in there, and what? I can't spend the willpower. Oh no. But it's a complete success. I'm just a really swanky crafter.
All right.
That's why we had Yarrow do it. I'm assuming, obviously, on Elise's instructions, because she's the one who knows what it looks like.
Hence all
Awesome.
the
Back
glitter
to
in my
Yara with the
pocket.
bedazzle gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you pull the crown out of the diadem out of your pocket, dust the gay sand off of it, and yeah, and you're like, wow, I did great. This is more
Like high
yeah.
five myself. Good job.
Yeah, you look at it and you're like, yeah, if somebody like really knew it well and they got within, 3 or 4 feet of it, they could tell the difference. But from the door or the window or anything like that, there's no way anybody would be able to tell. that
If
they're
you get close, you could see the smallest diamonds are actually glitters.
giant
Or
glitters.
glitter.
All right. So, yep, you've got the swappable item.
So, is there any like magical alarm system or yeah. I assume that there's something like that.
I mean, nothing that you're detecting just from looking around. You're not seeing any like glowing runes etched into the wall or anything like that. But if you have any kind of special abilities or grimoire abilities that you could bring to bear on it, then we could maybe do a roll.
I do
I
not.
only have the sense of resonance. I don't know if that would really sense traps. Specific.
Usually the traps would have their signature scrubbed, but that doesn't mean that you couldn't potentially find them. Also, if there's any, if I am I right? Does Hollis have detect magic as well, or
No.
that was one of your other characters?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah, I think detecting resonance wouldn't be a bad idea, just because if there's anything blatant, at least you see it.
Yeah, I don't know. Would it make more sense to be focus or survey?
Completely up to you.
I mean, survey makes more sense. I
Okay.
could be like, oh no, focus because I have an extra die in that. But I mean, I am surveying it. So
Yeah, so describe what that means. What are you doing? You're just sort of doing a 360 and scanning around the room, that kind of thing.
Yeah, basically, I'm doing the whole tuning fork deal
Okay,
that I
cool.
like to do, and I knock my horn real quick and then let it resonate through, and we'll see if if it picks anything up. Basically,
I
literal resonance.
I feel like focus would be completely fine for the way you described that. So I say take the extra die.
Well, okay. I mean, I'll, 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 I'll I'll let you twist my arm if you want me.
Oh
Which it doesn't matter if
no!
it's a double one failure.
Wow. Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
yes, there was. So we're going to put you up to desperate, and we're gonna say this is something that was specifically prepared in advance. So I'm gonna say that effectively counts as like a negative critical. We're gonna put 5 on the 8 clock of that they're gonna be looking for you again. I forgot to mention that there were 2 earlier from when she went into the kitchen and told them to redouble their efforts. So we're at 7 of 8 on that clock. It
Okay, so
did,
is this crown under glass or is it like just
yeah.
on the foam head on a pedestal?
Yeah, you kind of take a look at it. You've seen a lot of museum grade equipment, and when you kind of look at it from the right angle, you can see that prisming effect that you get from like real, like it's like crystal glass. It's
Well,
not,
I've broken a lot of that
yeah,
before, so
it's
I'm
not the
gonna break
fiberglass
some more.
stuff that you've broken before, but it's actually probably more fragile. But
I'm
more,
gonna freeze it and
okay,
break it.
all right. What do you want to use for that?
Invoked Tartarus, so
Okay.
1 essence, and I'm going to where's my essence? Roll focus,
Hmm.
and focus on freezing this ice.
Okay, awesome.
I always lose my mouse. There he is. 2 screens with a mouse, you know.
Yeah,
Very confusing sometimes.
Complete success. Woo!
nice. Okay, good, because if it was anything less than a complete success, it would have set off the alarms. So, do you want to describe that?
Yes, Lake Hollows has done a breaking into other museums. She rubs her hands together, squats down, touches the ground, and she focuses and does her chanting. And you can see just veins of frozen earth extend from her hands and up into the glass. And then she can just flick it and it shatters.
Yeah. When it shatters in an exact pattern that you had sort of predetermined, and you can see the flickering of electricity that's running through the glass. It's running right up to the edge of where you shattered it, but it's not you can tell that it was set up for an alarm system, but you didn't even reach into where it disrupted the alarm.
Okay.
So as long as you now, it's basically playing the highest stakes game of operation to reach in there, grab the item without touching the sides,
So, what if we do it on purpose
and set off the
and
alarm.
set off the alarm? Um, Yarrow takes the crown and she alacrities the fuck out of the building. And I go underworld out of the building and we leave the other crown so they can tell that it was broken, but they think that we broke it, set off the alarm, got spooked, and left it.
Wow, that sounds like a very high stakes sway, but
It is.
yeah, I mean that's definitely one way of
Not a
going
very
about
good
it.
heist if it doesn't have high stake.
Exactly.
Heist
Plus, I
stakes.
do love the old switcheroo.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've set up for it perfectly. I do think that I mean there's a good chance that you'll be able to get 30 seconds head start on them that way, to 2 minutes. But
That's plenty
because
of time for alacrity.
yeah, but because they'll be getting that close to it, once they see it, they're gonna know it's not real. So
That's fine.
okay, as
I
long as
mean,
you're
it
not
might.
thinking it's gonna buy you like a couple weeks before they know it's really
No,
gone.
no, no. I'm like, if they run by the room and like throw open the doors and be like, okay, good, it's still here, and they continue to search the building
Mm-hmm.
and give us a few extra minutes to get out, that's what I'm going for.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Anybody want to weigh in on that? Is everybody good with that as the official plan?
Well, I might say that under the circumstances, the finger might fall on the individual who has not met with Phaedra for 10 years and who has a connection with the crown.
Yeah, but you're in the ballroom and they're looking at you on the cameras the whole time, so it definitely
True.
couldn't have been you.
Yeah.
I am blameless.
But she is outside of the room, so unless she really trusts her electronics,
Well, there's also a
Unless you
lot of
trust your
guards in here
guard.
looking
that's
at me
true.
too.
That's true. Good point.
And we've been suspicious the whole time. They've been looking for us since the get-go.
I have an idea, actually, to really solidify my innocence.
Okay.
I would like to make a point of finding someone prominent to dance with.
Okay.
That way, all eyes will be on me.
Let's see. The most prominent people in the room are a high officer from the Legion of the Griffin, who is a woman,
Ooh.
a member of the Order has just walked in through the front door.
Ew.
You can tell by the pin on his lapel. He is a relatively high-ranking member.
Don't debase yourself like that.
But that's the best thing to do, darling. Dance with the fascist, make him fall in love with me, and to destroy his life.
You're not wrong.
Never said I was going to give him a happily ever after.
Let's see. I think that's it for people who are already here, but you can tell only about half the guest list has arrived at this.
I think I would like to greet the gentleman from the Order
Okay.
and see if he would like to dance with me.
Okay. He steps up and looks over you and holds out his hand to you and says, "Rowan, my lady."
Elise, enchanté.
Will immediately take the lead. Allow him to begin to go across the floor.
Suppose I could have danced with Sev. They could have turned into an octopus. That would have been an interesting dance. Certainly would have got more people's attention, but I do think there's something romantic about dancing with the enemy.
Okay, and then we want to use that as the time to take action.
Yes, well, I figure if I do it perhaps with a role,
Mhm.
maybe finesse or command or something to justify this as a performance,
Okay.
it can serve as a look at me while they're trying to escape.
Okay. Yeah, also, if you've got your hands clasped on somebody as the alarm goes off, they're gonna remember that you were there, specifically at that exact time. Yeah, I think command would make a lot of sense for, timing this sort of exactly right. And I don't think it's going to require a roll from Hollis or Yarrow. because they know exactly what they're doing and they're well within their abilities. So yeah, I think this would make it up to Elise. Oh, can't.
Your audio's not coming through.
Is it? How peculiar.
All right, it's much better now.
All right. Well, as I said, let's attempt to get all eyes on me. Complete success.
Okay. That out on. Awesome. Okay. Anything you want to describe before I jump in?
I just want to describe my stunning, almost skin-tight red gown that flares in a trumpet skirt that will look absolutely stunning as we dance.
Okay. I
I think
think
that's very important.
yeah, it is. I think Phaedra returns with an even fancier pair of shoes on when she comes back in through the door, and just as the double doors close behind her, and she sees you dancing with one of the order heads, and the shock finally registers with her. That's when the alarm sounds. The two of you, Hollis and Yarrow, immediately vanish with the diadem, and they don't have a literal second where they're looking in the right place as the two of you duck and dodge and move through the different worlds back out. Do you want to go out the way you came, or do you want to go back out through the front door? Past Elise stuff on the way out.
I think I'm gonna go through the front door just so I can see what the party looks like.
Same.
Okay.
Gonna snatch the crab rangoons out of Seth's hand as like you run by.
Make good
Back
use.
the way we came looks extra gimpy, so
Make
They're called
really good use of that telepathic bond so that you have appetizers and champagne waiting for you as you come back through. Awesome. Okay. Yes, that goes as read, and you are out. I assume this means that Hollis has the actual diadem.
Oh, I didn't know if I could take it into the underworld with me.
Yeah.
So I gave it to
Okay.
Yarrow.
That's fine.
like I have it.
Yarrow, do you want to put it on or jam it in your
Yeah.
bag?
Sure, Yarrow is reckless. I can see her just being
Put it
like,
on
nope.
over the horns.
Yeah. Nice.
Perfect.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to spot you, but let's just do a roll and see if there are any consequences of you getting out. What do you think? I was thinking maybe a prowl. But if you have another idea, maybe spring.
I would. I'll prowl. It'll be fun.
Okay.
I have nothing in prowl.
So you're sort of bouncing between hiding spot and hiding spot, using alacrity to get between those places.
Yeah, and alacrity is pretty new to me, so it would be fun to have a 0 die roll on that.
Sounds good.
Let's cross the finger. I failed. I bounced.
Okay.
I'm bouncing too hard. My concussion's too strong.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Okay. So I'm gonna say that I think it makes sense that Hollis, you wouldn't be going that far from Yarrow. Because you're in an even better hidden position, so you're able to assist there. Do you want to spend a willpower to give an assist?
Yeah, sure.
What that would look like?
I'm trying to think.
Just spin Yarrow a couple times in like the opposite direction. You're not dizzy anymore. Go.
I'm gonna start a small fire.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah?
It's a
Where at?
little one, like in the kitchen, like a kitchen fire,
Oh, okay.
or like in a bathroom. Yeah,
A
bathroom fire.
bathroom
That's weird.
fire.
Bathroom fire. Okay.
The
Okay.
toilet's on fire again.
It's not a Phaedra party until there's a toilet on fire, so I mean, yeah, plus it's
I
not,
miss those old days of toilet fires.
it's not a Night Sky Sanctum party until there's arson, so yeah, it's a little bit of
There's
both.
got to be a little fire.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, okay. Yarrow, yeah, you end up getting turned around and you end up like you dead end yourself into what you thought was a different way out. It turns out to be the biggest broom closet maintenance closet you've ever been in. And yeah, that's when you hear a second alarm go off and see the sprinklers in the kitchen and the bathrooms start to spray water everywhere.
Well, that's fun.
What joy,
Oh.
we've ruined Phaedra's party.
Sorry.
Hey.
Okay.
Well, it's like I could be like, well, I just took a wrong turn at Albuquerque and
Yeah,
and
so
ended up
on a complete fail, I'm gonna say that somebody saw you go into they saw the door shut. They didn't see you go in, but they saw the door to that closet shut behind you when you went in there. And there is one of the chefs has come to check on you in there. You can tell he's a chef because he's wearing a suit and a gimp mask and a chef's hat. So
Is Rasputin under his chef's hat?
Well, unless this is Narnia, I'm gonna have to do something here.
yeah, so yeah, he's
To use wild magic, it could be.
pulling
Oh.
the door open
Kick him
slowly,
unconscious.
pulling that door open slowly in front of you.
I mean, I am reckless and I could just spring out and see if I can knock him with the door and
Oh
just
yeah.
get out before anything.
All right.
So I'll just spring out.
Okay, sounds good.
I do spring. My little springers are at least good.
My little springers are still
The
working.
little springers.
Okay, you hit
Famously,
him.
what moves are good for? Springing.
You hit him with the door so hard he goes flying backwards. You hear him hit a countertop, and he hits it so hard that his spine breaks. And his head kind of snaps back, and his neck breaks too.
Oh
Was
my
that not-
god!
I thought we were going to get through this without having killed anyone.
Oops.
Oops, I did it
I'm feeling
again.
sorry.
You've got those awesome springers, and then you've got the leverage of the door, and yeah, it just you're too much of a force to be reckoned with.
Oh no.
So yeah, and plus he's the chef. He's not actually as muscular as the other ones.
Yeah, when all your points are in prowess.
All right. So yeah, you hear the sound of several bones cracking, and then you're like, oh, well, I guess the coast is clear.
Okay. I'll just use the last of my essence to alacrity out.
Okay. All right. I think it's going to require another roll because you've got such a long way to go. You're going to bust through some more doors on the way out as well. At least 2
That'll be
sets.
so fun.
So, yeah, let's do a roll. You can choose what you want to roll.
I'm trying to decide in between either focus or finesse because that is kind of a bit of a finesse to get all the way out through
Yeah,
there.
finesse makes sense.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And yeah, let's have fun with my one dice. Yeah, I just can't get out of here.
Okay.
That's
Okay, so I think what this looks like is You spring out from the door, you get your back up against the wall, you wait for the exact right moment to sort of alacrity out through that set of double doors, and you spot the coast is clear, and you turn and go through the doors. The doors fling open, and standing directly in front of the doors, blocking your path, is Phaedra. And her eyes lock with yours, and you are like, oh crap, I know this feeling. It's that same feeling you felt coming from that sign earlier, just so much stronger.
Can I just kick her?
Yeah, I think you can take. Well, I think you're gonna have to resist her action first
Oh no.
because you did a finesse and failed. So yeah, you'll need to resist first or take her spell.
Oh, I don't want to take her spell, so yeah, I'll have to resist. Oh, what? I would guess that's a resolve. Right?
Yeah, I think so. And
We
you are
got one.
wearing the crown.
This is gonna be fun.
All
Can I
right.
snatch the crown from the underworld and pull it into the underworld?
Yeah, also you could do a flashback since there are multiple crowns.
That's the
You
fake one there.
You could have had her, having had made multiple crowns,
Oh yeah.
and she's
You love
just
that.
got another fake that she made.
They're all fakes.
Yeah.
Each of us has a fake in their
So
on their
Just
shirt.
throw them around.
I assume that resist left you without any willpower.
Yes, I am. I have now fallen flat on my face, basically.
Okay. So yeah, she grabs you by the shoulder, and her first spell just completely fizzled on you. You were able to repel it from your mind, sort of maybe using the same thing you did before, smacking your head into something very, very hard. Um, and it's enough to end the spell, but it's also enough to knock you unconscious.
Yeah, I now have a full-blown concussion, not just like
Okay, so are we going to do another flashback, or how do we want to handle this? Because as it stands, she has what we assume is the real crown on her
I'll
head.
spend the willpower for a flashback.
Okay.
1 or 2, or 3 or 4.
I would
however many.
say we are getting to increasingly weird, so I'd say 2,
Okay.
and
Well,
that'll
that
give.
means we'll get strange when we do our coven experience.
That's true. And that gives Yarrow another crafting roll.
Mm.
Craft a second one.
let's see how well it looks. Hey, I am just a
Hey!
great crafter. Don't expect me to do anything else but spring and craft.
Okay. So this one looks even more real than the one that you left behind. So I'm gonna say this actually does trick her for a few seconds. She's not gonna put it on or anything, but she takes it off of Yarrow, and is holding it at her side, and she looks around at everybody, and you see that it's not just you that she suspects, because when she looks around, you're the third person, Elise, that she looks at. Okay.
I mean, I'm dancing. I can't be the main video.
Maybe that's why you're third. So Hollis, you are taking a powerful artifact into the underworld. I think
Fuck.
that's gonna require a roll. What would you like to use? I think this is how I'm seeing it, and you can modify this. But I was thinking that having a artifact that powerful on you is going to be like a beacon to
Yeah, that's what I was
powerful
thinking.
to
I would
powerful
just
things.
take heightened underworld consequences.
Right. So, do you just want to escape as quickly as
Yeah.
possible? Okay.
I'm
So,
running my little self out of the building as quickly as possible. Down and out of the building.
Okay.
Question. I have the otherworld omens to know about spirits that are around. Is that separate from the underworld that Hollis has?
Does it? I'm pretty sure it applies to all spirits, so I think it's fine. Yeah. So I think if there's something chasing her, you would probably know about it.
Yeah, it says if you're being watched or stalked, whether in the physical world or otherwise. So, am I able to use that just to kind of help keep an eye on Hollis to see if Hollis is in danger?
I think because you already have
The
telepathic
I guess.
bond, she would probably tell you. But if she, for some reason, could not tell you, my light facing the wrong way. If for some reason she could not tell you, then Otherworld Omens would probably give you that information. But I think for now, we don't even know what might be watching her yet. But once we know, then yeah, that might become valuable. So what role do you want to use for that?
I guess kind of like the same way with getting through the door, I'm going to use focus and just try to focus myself, I guess kind of through the quickest way out of the building and far enough away that I could come out of the underworld safely.
Okay. Maybe you're focusing on reducing the sort of emanation that's coming from
Yeah,
the
the shine
crown.
of the crown.
Yeah. Bling bling. All right.
Yeah. Can I take a Fey bargain to get
Absolutely.
extra dice?
Yeah. I think a less powerful underworld entity is going to, regardless, because you're sort of on the lookout for the big threats.
Yeah.
A small thing is going to, a sort of like a underworld parasite is going to work its way into the crown, regardless of
Into the
anything else.
crown?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's attracted to the crown.
Okay.
That makes
All right.
that work for you?
Sure.
So I'm going to put it on my head and it's going to drive me up the wall.
Complete success.
Ooh, that was really close to not being.
Well, it was.
Yeah, well, it was. Okay.
I feel like we have had more complete successes this session than in a very long time.
It has been very lucky. Okay. So the yes. Yeah, you find a quiet place and yeah, you feel these entities sort of nipping at your heels as you're running through a mix between lower Manhattan and the underworld at the same time.
So they're
Uh,
basically
which is
like
worse.
the spirits of dead sewer rats.
mhm.
Pizza.
And you
Let's
find
go.
an alley to leap into, and then you uh, remove the effect, and you're there in the real world, panting and look around, and everything seems normal, and you check the crown, and it looks right. You feel pretty good about being able to get away the rest of the way without any more interference.
Phaedra does a flashback where she does a swap.
Good thing NPCs don't get flashbacks. Take everything.
It'd be
Right
very
back.
confusing if they did.
Take it all right back away from you. Okay. Yeah. So I think Phaedra is she has Yarrow, and she gets her three strongest men to come pick up Yarrow and take her to the safe room, says.
Doesn't sound very safe.
Does anybody want to do anything about that?
Seth, darling, do you want to turn into a giant, horrible creature and attack everyone? Might not be the best solution, but
Not the most inconspicuous, but I can make my way over there.
Redzy1742 just came in to say he loves us all and doesn't have time to watch, but we'll try to watch afterward. We do put all of our videos up on YouTube, so I will make sure that there's a link in here for everybody, so you can watch this video either on demand on Twitch here or on our YouTube channel, which is called Balsamic Game. So real easy. So just
it's
FYI.
certainly one you won't want to miss.
So yeah, definitely head over there. Thank you for coming in to say hi. We are very glad to see you. Okay, sorry. What was Steph's action?
Steph is gonna make their way over to the safe room, kind of like skirting around the edge of the party. Not making an obvious beeline.
So the safe room is they're going to be carrying her through many rooms to get to the safe room.
Okay.
So yeah,
Make yourself into something small and follow them.
Yeah, can I just crouch down into the crowd to kind of disappear like I'm tying my non-existent shoes and turn into a moth or something so I can skitter on the walls, skitter on the roof, and like chase after?
Yeah, so I think hiding and then disappearing would probably be, what do you think, a prowl?
Probably.
Okay. We'll see how that does. If you get away without anybody noticing. Vanishing.
I will pop 2 willpower and give myself an extra die
Okay.
to make sure this works out. 4.
Woo!
Ooh!
That was close.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to decide randomly which person at the party spots you, because somebody definitely spotted you. We're gonna give, unless you want to resist this, we're gonna give 1 fate to the coven, and I'm gonna pick a person at the party at random that saw you. What do you think?
I can attempt to resist, see how
Okay.
that works.
I think that would be an insight resist.
Okay.
Woohoo!
Oh. And no
Nice.
willpower. 6.
Awesome. Okay. Okay, let me tell you who you see. It was a member of House of the Ram in their red robes that had just walked in, and that's why you didn't see them. But you had the insight and foresight to know that the door was on that side of you, and so were able to shift just before he entered the room. But you see a member of House of the Ram that you don't recognize, like, his face, but you do recognize the robes.
Saw him when he was young and naked.
Very likely, yeah. You guys have been around a lot of naked House of the Ram members. More than
Just
any
gotta
other
find the hole
faction.
on the butt cheek and like, oh, it's Tim.
Yeah. Harper. But yeah.
Harper.
Yeah. That's a terrible name for a Satanist. Harper. Like a little angel. All right. So yeah, you turn into a moth and you are able to go wherever you wish. So do you just want to follow Yara?
Yeah, I just want to kind of hang back and follow to see where they're gonna take her.
Okay. I think because of your extreme small size, normally that would be no roll. But you have a powerful psyche witch that might be able to pick out your mental energy, even if you are in the form of a moth. So maybe require a roll.
What kind of roll?
thinking maybe finesse. Staying out of her eye line, but also out of her sort of mental range. Because she's following along with them as they're taking Yarrow away.
Okay. Mentally zip zooming out of her view. We'll try that. Complete success.
Awesome.
I'm the zoomiest. Apart from Yarrow.
Yeah, Yarrow's
Sonic the Hedgehog.
on the hedge. Okay. Yeah, Yarrow makes it to the room first, despite your awesome success. And Steph the Moth arrives shortly thereafter. This room that you find is a vault. It doesn't look like it was made for people, but it's gonna work for people for a short time. So they put her body in the room, and they're about to close the door, and that's when Phaedra steps into the room and puts her hands on Yarrow's head. It looks like she is about to cast a spell.
Well, I hope she has fun in my teapot reassembled brain.
There's extra pieces here. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
What does it mean when it's 1,000-piece puzzle, but there are 1,400 pieces?
Exactly.
That would be interesting to make a puzzle and make a bunch of like extra, like fake or alternate pieces.
Oh, I've seen those puzzles where they just morph, so like all the colors blend in, so there's never really an edge. You just kind of start it over again. It's like
I don't like
you have
that.
to hate yourself.
Or the all white ones with no edges.
Yeah.
Oh my god, too much.
So, what do we want to do? Do we want to go the wild magic route? Do we want to go the shape-shifting route? Elise, do you want to jump in here, try something?
Might be a bit far to do something at this point,
Unless it was a flashback.
unless it was a flashback.
Ba.
What? To me showing up in the safe room first.
I was thinking getting a hold of Yarrow's mind and putting a safety latch on it or something. Does Yarrow have sigil craft?
Actually, no. I had
Aw,
gotten
darn.
words of power instead. I juggled between the idea,
Yeah,
but
sigil craft is really, really cool. That's you can put a conditional effect. So like if someone tries to read my mind, this spell goes off.
Their brain bolts up.
404, thoughts not found.
I wish I could, but unfortunately I don't really have any abilities for putting locks on people's minds.
Yeah. Yeah. You could do it as a charm. So, you could just, like, blow some smoke up her nose or something in the past and have a little charm going. That's a craft roll. Or you could make her do it to herself. Again.
That's a better idea.
Yeah.
I will command her to craft.
literally, I've started crafting Elisa's pipes.
I think this would be a 2 willpower flashback.
2 willpower flashback.
Yeah. And then Yarrow, you have a chance to do something or to craft something that maybe you imbibed before you went on this journey to protect your mind.
We do know that Phaedra's a psyche
Exactly.
witch, and we would have known that from the beginning. So
Yeah. Yeah,
few
3
safeguards.
Yeah, 3 willpower is usually the max at which it makes sense, and I think we're well within the 2 range.
Yarrow just had the foresight to bring like mirrored sunglasses.
Yeah.
Bloody Rose White Wolf said, "Shit yourself." as a power word, shit myself.
Oh,
You gotta roll
Well,
focus.
I do have telekinesis. I could just.
Yeah, then float your poop around.
Yeah. Woo!
It's
Ghost turds.
Uh,
How did that not get us more viewers? All right.
so I get to I guess I'll craft us some amulets or something.
Okay.
Some fun little necklace amulets.
Sure. What kind of thing do you want to put in the? What's good for like resisting mind control or something like that? I feel like maybe an opal.
Either that or a literal moonstone.
Ooh, love
I
moonstones.
think moonstones are always fun. Um and then maybe I doused it in frankincense.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds good.
Oh,
Do you want to just make one for yourself? Since you're
no,
the
I think I'll make one for everybody.
so that would cost you 4 downtime action.
Seems like
Which
an
I can't when I have been traumatized out, I can't take the downtime action for the
Yeah.
next time anyway. So
I would say, do you have that one that lets you pull a charm out of your ass? Can't remember what that one's called, or is that an eclectic ability? I think that's
I have
It's an eclectic.
yeah, because I have artificer, which basically just ups an artifact that I'm crafting.
Yeah.
Well,
Uh,
I could, do it as Gavin said before, cast a charm with smoke. I do have a poison craft, so
I
Yeah.
could have made little vials that capture Elise's smoke for us.
Yeah, so
probably
the
good.
way charms work is you don't have to be able to do the effect. You just decide what it does and it does it. So you could say I make a potion that makes me invisible. You don't have to know an ability that makes you invisible to be able to make a charm that does it. But it does require a downtime action to make a charm. And normally I would say you can't use a downtime action when you're unconscious, but it's a flashback, um, so if somebody can give you a fey fruit, or if you want to use a future downtime action, um,
I think I have a fey fruit that I could
well,
spare for sure.
I have several as well.
Aw, yay!
I'd be happy to offer. We could
so
all share these fruit.
if you want to make one for each, then that would be 4 fey fruit. If you want to just do one for yourself to get you out of this bad situation, then that would only cost 1 fey.
Don't think you're going to need several since Wallace has already escaped.
Yeah.
With the real
So
crown.
Just
I'm
saying Rose White Wolf's comment, the amulet of dissociation.
It does. Yeah.
yeah. Well, actually, it would it would make I can just take the 2 downtime actions anyway and just make one for me and Seth because I figured Elise, could stand up to what's needed. Hollis is already out. I'm just like, well,
Well,
I figured
we
Seth
can
needed
do
one.
the next downtime action with you only have to protect yourself right now.
Mhm.
Because if you don't need it, we don't want you to use it and then it not be needed. So
Well, if it comes to it, I did craft 2.
gotcha. Well, that will reduce the
I
flashback
could still
cost.
do like an action after yours as well, so I could do something if this doesn't work out.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. So make a craft roll, the Sailwind. And
A
ooh,
partial success. Okay, they're pretty strong.
okay. Yeah, partial success is a 4 o'clock. So to fully resist what she's doing to you will take 3 of the 4. Do you want to go ahead and use it? And what does it do?
Yeah, basically, I will use it, and the amulets like shine super bright as soon as like the energy touches it. It shines super bright enough to like make her step
Okay.
back, and also it breaks.
Okay.
So it shines so bright that it shatters, and so that
Yeah, and the
that
magic.
kind of shot will shock you either. It's kind of like smelling salts.
Yeah. It like stuns her.
hmm
Okay. Yeah, and all the flash blinds everybody in the room momentarily. And you're
Yeah, it's
already
like,
unconscious, so... All right. So, Seth, you see that flash, but you're kind of around a corner. And plus, you're a moth, you love light. So...
I know
and
exactly where I want to go.
so you see three men in gimp masks stumbling around, and Phaedra steps back, doesn't break a heel this time, but and yeah, you have a little bit of an opening while they're all blinded if you want to do something.
Okay. I am going to. Oh, it need to be something that I can carry Hollis, not Hollis, Yarrow with. 'Cause Yarrow's passed out at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I am going to silverback gorilla myself, drop down from the roof because I was on the
Yeah.
roof before. So I want to try to pick up Yarrow and just essentially body check everyone out of the way now that they've been kind of like flashbanged.
Awesome. Awesome. Let's say risky standard effect. With a lot of effect levels playing off of each other. They're blinded, but there's a whole bunch of them, and you're a gorilla. But we'll go to standard effect. So, yes. So, you want to do brawl?
I think so because I'd be trying to forcibly pick up Yarrow as well as like run with them and
Yeah.
like, push people out of the way. So I think that
Four
makes the most
people.
sense.
Are you going to climb to the roof like King Kong?
Ooh.
We'll see. Let's see how the night goes.
Need to find out what buildings in Lower Manhattan have 17 or 18 stories.
Ooh.
So I can find out where this is all happening. What the roof looks like.
Are we in Lower Manhattan?
Mm-hmm.
I assumed we were.
I have 3 in brawl, so we'll try this. I have options if this goes. Partial success.
Okay. So yeah, I think it all goes well. Except Phaedra is back on her feet and has recovered. Well, no, she got the full blast of both being blinded and stunned. So it's one of the guards that comes to the first and is grabbing at you, and he grabs a hold of Yarrow's leg, and as you have her on your back and are trying to run away with her. So right now you guys are having like a tug of war with Yarrow.
No. Okay.
Well, I needed a good bit of chiropractic, so
Nice.
stretch me out.
I feel like playing tug of war against a gorilla is ill-advised.
It is, especially for the thing you're tugging. Yeah.
Mm.
So, what's the situation right now?
I'm gonna say risky, mostly for Yarrow. And yeah, it's just that one gimp masked, muscle bound, suit wearing guard. Everybody else is still sort of stunned.
I'll
the
unconsciously think heavy thoughts.
Trying to think. Because I have an enigmatic form as well as lightning weaponry, so it's a matter of whether I want to be offensive or defensive.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
But if you use the enigmatic form, you will probably lose Yarrow.
yeah. So, lightning weaponry is your position is not desperate. You may shapeshift and attack, instantly gaining the element of surprise.
Yeah.
Already
Quick question: did you say silver back or silver wing?
silver back.
Okay, good. I
Really?
thought
Be a
maybe
bit small for the silver wing.
Yeah. Okay,
So
good.
they say like you're picking the wrong fight here, bud. Like
Yeah.
So if I'm a silverback right now, then I might just I don't know. I don't know what I'm
You could do silver wing and behead him, like all in one smooth
Can I
motion.
even fit in the hallway though?
I mean, for a
Still
second.
inside.
You could also
Just punch him in the
yeah,
face.
dire form.
Yeah, you know what? I'll dire form to an even larger gorilla. Now I'm King Kong. You just have to. The font is so small. Sorry, I'm just trying to read it.
Yeah.
It's one essence, so I'll pop an essence, and yeah, I'll just dire form into a larger silverback and essentially squish him against the wall
Okay.
so that we can keep moving.
Okay. I'm not even gonna require a roll for that. Dire silverback gorilla versus muscle bound guy. Yeah, you smash him against the wall. You leave an imprint of the back of his head in the drywall. And you snatch Yarrow back away from him. And then you return to your normal size and can run down the hallway and take her away. Right. Elise, are you still dancing?
Well, I suppose I can't imagine many of us are dancing. I mean, alarms are going off, there's fire, and sprinklers going off. I have to imagine.
Well, luckily the
Many of them.
sprinklers aren't going off in that room, but yeah. Rowan is if you're not making him stop, he is not going to stop dancing with.
Well, I shall keep dancing with the gentleman for now, because I feel it would be a bad look to disappear whilst this is all happening.
Can you?
After all, I am completely guiltless and unassociated with all of this chaos.
Yeah. Can you make a resolve? Make it a insight resist.
Insight resist.
There are things pressing against you.
Oh.
In your rib cage.
Well, that's better than what I thought when you were saying.
Yeah, and I'm like, don't be gross.
No, I'm sorry.
Leave room for Jesus.
Unintentional.
I don't believe it was unintentional.
Okay.
That is a 5.
Okay. You feel a little weak all of a sudden. And you sort of recognize the feeling, half recognize the feeling. It reminds you of that first time you touched that weird red gem in the shipwreck. You get that sort of like your magic is being drained out of you kind of feeling. And when you look down, you see that the head of his cane is sort of pressed against your lowest rib, and there is a red ball on the top of it, and it is glowing brightly. He leans to your ear and says, "I know who you are, Wild Witch." And then he twirls you. Allow him.
Of course. I simply wouldn't drift away from such a dance. I should let the gentleman know that I should hope he knows who I am. I'm far too magnificent to be readily forgotten. So who am I, darling?
You also look back at the two guards at the front door, and you notice that they have now been joined by two ungimp masked, normal clothes wearing individuals with red armbands.
Yeah.
And he says, I know who you are, little spider, too. And that's when he releases you from the twirl. But he steps to the side, and beckons for the two guards that with the red armbands, and they both move to the side as well, sort of saying that he wants you to leave.
Well,
Um,
as I am being so politely, I suppose, expelled from the party, I certainly would not kick up a fuss. That would be terribly rude of me. So, if he wishes me to leave, then I shall leave. As politely as possible. I shall thank him for the dance, of course, before going towards the door.
bows deeply toward you.
I give a little curtsy.
Steph, what are you doing? Back area.
Well, I still have Yarrow, right?
Yep.
So I guess I have to go through the party to get out, or is my closest way the stairs?
You sort of have two ways that you know really well at this point. The way the way Yarrow and Hollis came up from the outside of the building through the kitchen, or you could go out through the main area. You probably know what's going on with Elise in the main area. Well,
There's order agents here. Or you could go the proper King Kong route, just break through a window and climb up on top of the building.
I guess it depends if Elise needs backup.
she
I do
doesn't.
believe Elise just leaving peacefully.
Yeah, I
Then
I
guess
feel like
might
she's got the situation well under control.
Yeah, so I might just head to the stairway. Just
Okay.
bumble my way off with Yarrow. Try not to drop her.
All right. Do you want to maybe shapeshift into some big flying animal and fly away with her?
Yeah, I'll be fly off as like condor.
Okay.
Huge.
Just with her in your talons.
Yeah.
I have convenient horns for
Oh
grabbing.
yeah.
like you're a motorbike or something.
All right.
If I was conscious, I would like it.
And that just leaves Elise. How do you want to exit?
With my head held high at the front door, since that seems to be what I am being encouraged to do.
Okay.
And I haven't done anything wrong.
No, not at all.
Say,
Oh,
exactly.
okay. All right. Okay, so as you step toward the door, Rowan says very loudly, "This wild witch knows her place."
Who I? Well, not certain what that place is, but indeed, certainly not here.
But the ever vigilant eye members do not make a move toward you.
And like
Not sure if they're trying to provoke a reaction, but
Yeah,
Elise is not the sort for reaction.
yeah, you feel like this is them begging you to do some wild magic.
Well, hate to disappoint. But I never make a scene.
Elise just levitates a glass of champagne, one for the road, and just like heads out.
In that case, no one follows you once you step outside the threshold. You hear a lot of commotion from behind you, though. As
I smirk and speed up my steps.
you hear Phaedra come into the room, and you know she's cursing and asking what happened, and yeah. Where did my prisoner go? All right. And
I'll
with
remember the face of Rowan so that I can stab him in it later.
yeah,
But revenge is a douche best served cold.
and Rowan is a douche best served.
And I mean, I waited 10 years to get revenge on Phaedra, so
Yeah. Okay. Within about an hour, you all have met back up at your covenstead, ready to do drawing down the moon, unless there's any actions you want to take before then.
So, Yarrow need any bandaging up?
Uh,
She's ice pack.
got a lot of head trauma. Needs an ice pack, yeah.
Is that gonna heal with like the downtime, or do we need to do like extra stuff to take care of Yarrow? It'll
just
bump up
trauma, so
Oh
She'll
yeah,
heal.
you have new trauma now.
the-
How many traumas do you have now, Yara?
Well, I think this will actually just be my second one because
Oh,
I
okay.
think I just had one permanent reckless because the like the fracturedness of mine was taken away.
Yeah. Okay,
Uh,
good.
I was worried for a moment this was
Mhm.
one of the latter ones.
Yeah, if it was Seph's got 2 or 3?
two already. So I healed a third one. I don't remember what it was, but I had 3 at one point. It's like,
We
let's feel it back.
we need an empath in the group so you guys can all heal trauma.
let's see. I'm
Just
trying-
have less trauma like I do.
Also work.
If I had head trauma, I can either become unstable again or I was just having shock.
Yeah, you could also become unstable in a different way too.
Mhm. Yeah, maybe.
Fractured psyche.
Yeah, maybe I'm just a wee bit unstable from now on. I just start offering everybody candy in the middle of a fight.
Either that or
Oh.
arson or stubble.
You gained a trauma called Malkavian. Okay, awesome. Who wants to roll drawing down the moon?
I did it last time, so it shouldn't be me.
Be happy to do it this time.
Okay. What does that look like? You
It's
kept it together
at
the
least-
most.
At least didn't have any sort of rough moments of the evening. She's in perfect condition to go and, well, I suppose we'll meet up on Hollis's gravesite, as is our standard ritual space currently. And despite the absence of our patron, we shall form a circle, the 3 of us, and then Yarrow's half conscious self in the corner over there.
No, I've got like Yarrow still on my shoulder, just like involved.
You're still a monkey.
Yeah.
No, I'm like behind Yarrow with like the puppet arms, like, holding their.
Or
And
we
we
can
shall-
have Bernie's in it.
We shall call down the moon to replenish us after we have expended ourselves so valiantly. Are we still at a 2 for drawing down the moon? That is a 5.
Nice. So that is 4 essence and 2 willpower restored to each member, except Yarrow, who gets all her essence and willpower back, and a trauma.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, and no Red Watch, Ever Vigilant Eye, or Order followed you back.
But apparently they know who I am, so that's reassuring.
Yeah, we should determine which of your coven's lores they know you by. I think your coven lores are strange,
Brutal.
We had
brutal.
strange, brutal, and ambitious. It was definitely ambitious today, and a little bit strange.
Not that brutal. The only death came by accident.
Yeah,
It
it was brutal, but not on
was
purpose.
brutal.
So yeah, what do you think? he knows you by ambitious, brutal, or strange.
Say ambitious, potentially.
I
We
think.
have been biting off quite a bit more than we should probably be chewing.
Awesome. Well, I'm gonna mark that down. That
I mean, Yarrow made 2 successful copies of what we were stealing.
yeah,
I'd say that's a lot of prep work. Pretty
Yeah.
ambitious.
that Rowan Sharp knows you as
And I know him as a fascist douchebag.
Yep.
But a gentleman, somehow. My favorite type. I'm set they're going to enjoy killing them.
Welcome, your Curial. Thank you for having your first time chatting here. The urge to create a campaign character based off of Morningstar is strong. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I
Sure,
think we've
quite
all felt
fine.
that urge. I just
You're always welcome to, darling. I don't claim my own likeness to be, well, uncopyable. It'll just never compare to the real thing.
obvious. Yeah, I just reposted one of your old sets of your Wesley Fire Swamp, and yeah,
Oh,
I
yes.
immediately had the urge to make a character based off of you. So yeah, 100% know that feeling.
Touched.
Okay, well, there is a good chance that there's going to be an entanglement coming for you guys after this, so I will be rolling that privately between sessions. Oh, also, Yarrow, you do heal all of your wounds well, so we can assume that there's at least a few weeks of downtime for you. So does anyone else want to spend their downtime actions quickly?
Yes. I require 2 successful downtime actions to build that Shadow World portal, so I'd like to try to do that.
Awesome.
But I'm not sure what I should do.
I think we need to actually do the question and answer form first.
Oh, you're right.
And
We were
that
supposed to talk about
that
that.
determines how many levels of tier
I'm
we
sorry.
need to do.
My mistake.
So, Anya, that horse skull looks like it's like sitting on your shoulder. It's awesome. It's like my
This
baby.
This looks familiar.
Yeah.
Oh,
We need-
baby.
I was thinking a familiars episode would be really interesting sometime.
We did something like that once, and it
Yeah.
was quite interesting.
Yeah.
Would be good to see more.
saw a campaign someone did online where it's like they're well, I guess we're the witches, so like we
Yeah.
get kidnapped and our familiars have to like find us.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
That could be really awesome.
Yeah, I could see Jean really freaking out.
Jean would be an absolute powerhouse in a situation like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Like, oh, I'll just explode and become a little baby chick the whole time.
It's true.
It's just 2 brain cells rolling around in a can, hoping for
The eyes go different ways.
just like blinking at separate times. But I guess I'll roll for willpower to roll
Okay.
that back.
The lower of your insight or resolve,
Okay. Alright, it's
a fortune roll. Hey. 2 back.
back. Okay. And I'll probably just do that again.
Yeah, Seth has the froggiest familiar, an actual frog.
He's a good boy. I
A
love
4.
him.
Partial success as well. That's
Nice.
2
Is
more.
that's 2 more? Oh, sweet. I got all my essence and all my willpower back. So I'm
Wow.
Nice.
Anya, do you need anything?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a prowess train, and I would like to do a recover willpower.
Okay. You gonna do the roll for
So,
recover willpower? The
yeah.
lower of your insight or resolve as a fortune roll.
Okay. fortune roll.
Ooh, nice. Almost a crit.
So I get 3 of them back.
Get 3 essence back.
Willpower.
Yes, that's the one. When you
I'm like,
restore
don't say
willpower,
essence.
when you restore willpower, you get willpower back, not essence.
Yes.
I,
Okay.
We designed the game, so I know that. That's one of my talents. Okay, and Elise, Morningstar, any ideas for your downtime actions?
Oh, I'm most certainly going to have to recover some willpower because I only have 4 left.
Oh,
So, I would attempt to do a little bit of self-care after that, especially after that incident with Rowan, which was rather aggravating.
I bet.
So, I'm going to go break things.
Ooh. Fun.
Shatter a few priceless vases or something.
Nice.
Very cathartic.
Have Yarrow do minor creation and build you priceless vases
I
to break.
could smash them with a hammer.
Nice.
Stab at some fleshy things that aren't alive. Probably.
I line up some priceless atomic age glass.
We
It all glows in the dark to be smashed.
have another first-time chatter, that little fox.
Yeah.
Aw.
Aw.
Nice to meet you, that little
But
fox.
hello, little forms.
I swear,
So-
we have the people that follow us and chat with us have the coolest names.
So that's a fortune roll, yes?
Yeah, it's gonna be the lower of your insight or resolve, but I think all of yours
All
are.
right. Those two are identical. My prowess is 1, but the insult so insight. My insult is obviously quite good as well.
Yeah.
But
Your insult is
sorry,
your best.
passive aggression.
That should be a new Matrix insult.
So
That's a 5.
that gets you back 2.
That gets me back to. All right. Well, I think I might actually have to dedicate more time to self-care then. So perhaps I shall have the children bring me drinks. I shall spend the evening being tended to by the children.
Awesome.
Nothing like some child labor to improve my well-being.
Elise comes home. Bring me my children.
Where's my bourbon?
And then once the children are there, I start saying, "Bring me my wine." That one's a
Ah,
6.
that's the winner. Okay, we're back. Awesome. Okay. So yeah, I think we have a lot of stuff that's sort of in the back burner of things that might come back to bite you guys in the butt. So
I
and
wonder why.
not the least of which is the 11 children that are left in your covenstead, and
They don't
whatever
bite.
their story is.
They definitely do bite. Do you forget the time they ripped a living man to shreds
That
and
wasn't their
ate
fault.
him?
I mean,
They're
wasn't.
better now.
That's all that iron they got.
Yeah, it helped.
I have a Fey bargain as well, so we can even loop that in if we want to.
Oh, like a whole Fey contract level?
Yeah.
Nice, yeah. Yeah, I think we need to clear that out. And does Hollis have a Fey contract level as well?
Not right now.
Okay. We know how
Well,
Don't
yours
even have a
goes.
fake bargain.
With the maze, I think Hollis and I ended up going down a level with the maze part,
That's right, yeah. That
and I
counts.
have just one left from that now.
Ooh. Maybe something with your 2 trolls that live with you guys on your island. The sea troll and the forest troll. Yeah, maybe they have something they can have you do. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe go back and get revenge on some of those people that were holding or I think it was the Isle Yumana that were holding that troll prisoner.
Yeah.
Go get some revenge. Yeah, that could be really fun. Awesome. Well, I think that is going to be the end of that session. We'll do XP off camera, but let us first let everyone know where they can find us on your webs. We'll start with Morningstar.
Very well. If you, darlings, are looking to see more of this, and of course you are, you can find me as the Cytherian most everywhere. There's an underscore between those words on Twitter and Instagram, but on Facebook, and I believe here on Twitch, there is none. And it's certainly worth following me here on Twitch because this arrived in the post today. So we should be streaming very soon.
Yep. And
So you have that to look forward to.
if you follow us, we will be putting out notifications as well. So we'll make sure everybody knows that Morningstar is going live. So yeah, make sure you
Hate to
go
miss it.
and follow the Cytherian here. I think you can just click on his name right there in chat and follow from there. So
Yes, it should be rather straightforward.
please do. Let's go to Megan.
You have the same spiel every week because I'm far behind on my own stuff. So, if you want to find the content that myself and Morningstar work on, I'm their editor and photographer. You can go to any of the previously mentioned links. I am trying to get my personal stuff going so I can have tutorials, behind the scenes, and possibly some like other fun content. But in the meantime, yeah, just go to the Morningstar stuff if you like what we do. Post every Friday.
We do. We like Azalin.
Well, you can find me under Azalin everywhere except for TikTok, which is under Goddess Azalin. Mainly, I'll post the best of the stuff on Instagram, but TikTok has a decent amount of content on there, and then I'm restarting my schedule back up here on Twitch, starting Wednesdays and Sundays again because we had to take a week off. I was forced to take a week off, but other than that, we're always getting up to something creative. It's mainly Sims on Twitch here, and then this other creative random jargon on the other things.
Right, and Anya?
I'm Anya. I am one half of the creative and writing team at Balsamic Moon Games Collective. We make games such as this wonderful one that you watched this evening. And let's see, what else do we have? We have a Patreon, and we just uploaded, or Gavin just finished and uploaded a new game for the Bundle for Buffalo. So if you want to support the people who were affected by that tragedy, which I guess we're gonna have to make a new one for the bullshit that happened in Texas today. It's never ending. um, but yeah, Wandering Age was the name of that game.
Yeah.
It's a game that you can actually play inside of Animal Crossing, which is a segue to I play Animal Crossing on Fridays. So if you are
Segue.
interested in coming to just chill and hang out with us on Fridays, and yeah, it's a very chill game, and we'll probably try to play Wandering Age inside of the way it's intended to be played, inside of the game. So if you're interested in seeing that, yeah, Friday.
Yeah, we'll try to get one set up. Yeah, we'll try to get a streaming game of Wandering Age set up at some point in the future. And we'll probably do some playtesting with people who are either members of our Patreon or members of our Discord. So join our Patreon if you want for Anya or I to run a one-shot adventure for you after you've been a Patreon patron for 6 months. You can chain together your one-shot with other people in the Patreon, so you can effectively have an ongoing campaign once there are enough of you. Right now we have 8. Once we get to 10 Patreon supporters, we will be playing 10 Candles, a private game. Everybody that's here has been invited, and we'll see how that works out. But if you join our Patreon, you can be involved in that 10 Candles game. That is free. It's over and above all the other rewards. So it's just an extra fun thing you us. 10 Candles is an awesome 2 to 3 hour long tabletop session horror game in which you make a character during the game, play the character, and by the end of the game, all the characters are dead. You have told an amazing story. It really, if you're used to playing long-term games, it can really help your mind detach from, I have to amass things, I need gold, I need weapons, like, just you figure
You
out
might
what
want
you
weapons,
yeah,
but
you figure out what you need to do in the moment to survive, and tell a good story and give your character the coolest death that you can possibly think of. And there's literally nothing. You start from nothing. You start from a theme. Like, we're all in an amusement park together when the end of the world happens. Or we're all in a cabin in the woods on vacation. And that's all you start with. There are literally no other facts known about the game world. We make everything up as we go. It's a really fun game. So join us on Discord, join us on Patreon. We'll get one of those going ASAP because they're so
I
much
look forward to dying horribly.
fun. It's fun because
Because
a lot of us have like this sort of mental block against letting a character die in a game, and that's, to me, perfectly rational and understandable. This game will really help you figure that out and let you let go of characters. So it's really, really a way. Oh yeah, as Anya said, we are the designers and writers of Children of Midnight Coven, the game we've been playing here tonight. We have everything you can think of: Instagram, Facebook,
Twitter.
Patreon, Twitter, TikTok,
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. We do. All
Oh,
through
goodness.
all Balsamic Games. So if you want to find us, go on any platform, and we are at Balsamic Games. And we love talking to you and chatting with you on Discord. We will try to do another movie night this weekend. We might have a special movie. Well, actually, it'll be a special movie regardless, but we might have a super special movie. We'll see. And yeah, hope to see you on Friday for Anya Plays the most relaxing game on Twitch.
Oh, and if you really have enjoyed this game, you can go get it for free, the quick start at our itch page, and yeah, play yourself with your friends, and then tell us about it because we want to know what you think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we love
If
hearing
you're
reviews.
unsure of where to find people, you can find a group to play with in their Discord.
Yep.
Very true.
There are people looking for games on our Discord all the time. We've got about 75 members right now, so yeah,
Decent.
pretty easy to get in there. And who knows how many more have joined since I posted that link. I don't know. I could look, but I don't know. Anyway, this has been Nightsky Sanctum Season 2, Episode 2, and we will be back next week. At the beginning of next month, Anya and I have a homeschooling vacation trip that we have to do on Tuesday. So we are going to try to move the date of that week's game in some direction. We're hoping Monday, but if that doesn't work out for everybody, we can try to
We'll figure it out.
wiggle stuff around. So keep an eye out for that right around the beginning of
Worst
next
case
month.
scenario, we'll have to skip one in June.
It'll be our first session we've ever skipped,
Yep.
but yep. Anyway, any last words?
Bye.
Bye.
Fare thee well, darlings, until next time we meet. Mwah.
Thank you. Good night.